Sissies.
Whoa.
We have been watching reality dating shows for how long, Poodle?
88 years. It feels like it.
It feels like it.
About and talking about them and podcasting about them about almost 4 to 5 years.
4 to 5 years. Okay.
I've been watching them forever.
Been watching them forever. People ask since the dawn of time. People have been asking or wonder often, like, how was Poodle in his 20s? What was Poodle in his early 30s like?
Oh,
and
okay. Don't go there.
After everything, I can say with much confidence, Poodle was a Vanessa, y'all.
Okay, I might have had Vanessa-like qualities. I was never this much of a nightmare.
You would 100% in your 20s.
Okay,
you would have brought your this is Poodle, not you now. You are not that, but in your 20s, you would have 100%
in my mid-20s. I would have totally done
ultimatum, and as you walked away, hollered at a guy, "I'll see you later, boys," and flirted with him in front of your current partner.
Vanessa on this show curled my hair. Her performance. I have to watch it through my fingers. It's so cringe.
Now, I will say in episode 2, she's not much of a Poodle in his 20s because she folded a little bit, and
she did. I never fold.
She lost her. Yeah. This is ultimatum queer love, everybody.
Fake it until you make it. Lie, 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 lie. Stick with your story.
True. I have to say, Amar, you don't let him see the blood in your eyes.
You deny it until the end. This is queer love. I did find out this is not actually season 2. This is a complete spinoff, they're calling it. So the ultimatum, marry or move on, queer love.
Season 1.
Season uno.
So that means they're going to do this with a bunch of like queer identified men.
Male, yeah, I guess. I think it's even messier when most of them are female identified. This gave us, I've got to say, the combination of love bombing, quick insecurities, drinking. It's if you've been out to a lesbian bar.
Yeah, don't forget just holding hands and eye gazing. Y'all, there's so much of that in this show.
There's a lot of tight holding. Yeah.
Tight holding.
We'll also learn about terms like pillow princess.
What is a pillow princess?
A pillow princess, my sir, is a woman who is receiving affection, sexual affection from another, and doesn't want to do anything. She's a complete submissive who just lays there on the pillow going, and the other partner does all the work.
But if your partner is munching on your box, you munch on theirs, right?
No, not so. Not
you don't do anything.
A pillow princess just lays there. Yeah,
that's an option.
That's an option.
I want to be a pillow princess.
I've had some encounters where I was a pillow princess where I didn't have time really.
You didn't have time.
I was kind of there was too much going on. The floor show was already underway. They already had a plan for how things were going to go.
I just don't know if I could do it. I got my dad's work mentality of a hard worker. Like, you got to give back.
I agree.
Just would feel so guilty, but maybe I need to get rid of that.
But a pillow princess, we also
does it look favorably in culture. Like,
no, it's usually a little bit of a it's almost like lazy bottom for us.
Oh.
So I had to. I had to. I'm glad I had to.
Dare you say that? A term I have never been called.
I agree. Even when even if I'm on the bottom, I'm like playing offense, I'm playing defense, I'm wearing all
Mhm.
kinds of hats.
Oh, yes. I've done my
Yes.
Kegels, and I do the work.
So y'all, the if you've never seen the if you did not listen to our recap of season 1, which honestly, that was a fucking snooze.
Just skip
I
it. You don't need
I
it.
think
Yeah.
this is already shaping up to be better.
Way better.
Mostly because all but one of these couples is in their 30s, are in
Yeah,
their 30s
yeah, that or yeah, or at least
or
has
40s.
someone, if one is younger, someone is older.
Yeah.
So the
I
stakes are high. And I have to say, because I think this would be I actually agree with you. I don't know if this would be as good a show with a bunch of gay men because several of the women have the whole biological clock thing
yeah.
and wanting to have children that are in their 30s. And so that's just something you're not going to get. But
No.
it is very different. There are still games, but in the same way, there are not like people play. It's just it is such a it would be I'm not because that season was boring and I don't wanna watch some of them again. But to see the difference of how men and women react and aren't and all the mind games they play and how here there's several of these couples, if you don't have a lot of female, or she they relationships or friends in your life and you don't know how these relationships work, this is such like yes, they even made the joke I think in episode 2 about the lesbian U-Haul and all that. But there is something like when there's not this kind of they just get to the emotions of the matter much quicker.
Really quickly, usually.
It
Yeah.
did when you watch this, like I enjoyed watching it, but it did trigger me in a little bit of a way because how many times have you been at a bar and one of our lesbian friends starts to get into a fight or a really dramatic emotional conversation, like, at a bar
Countless
with
times at a bar. I
like,
feel
there's no
like I feel like neither of us are on the same page right now.
I'm drunk. I've already like, we're at Mickey's. I've already put
Give her
literally
another woodchuck.
yeah, I've given this dancer $50 in ones already. I'm trying
Yeah.
to get this so he can go home with me, or at least I'm drunk enough now where I think he's gonna go home with me. So I think I'm about to get lucky. And then my lesbian friend that I bought comes to me and she's sobbing
Yeah.
because of something that her and her girlfriend just talked about, and I gotta go home because she's my ride.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, this is that. There's also we're going to talk about there's also a Vanessa here and it's pretty diabolical. I got it from the beginning as I think
Yes,
most people did.
you are not that diabolical, but especially season or episode 2, Vanessa. But,
Woo.
we're gonna
So
talk about episode 1 because it was a
I
long episode, and then we're gonna talk about episode 2 in a separate episode, but we're just letting you know that episode 3 is really short, so we might combine. So we're just gonna kind of take it we don't know the spacing for these episodes, so we're just gonna take them
right.
as we go.
I also want to say if you don't know the premise of this show even with the first season, the way they come into this is these are two people in these relationships. One wants to get married
Oh, yeah,
and the
explain
other
this because this is a
I
free episode
I've
for
been
people.
I've been
Thank you.
trying to, and you've been and you've been running off at the
You know
mouth.
what? I was just excited the coffee's kicking in.
So these are five couples, and one wants to get married, and one has given the ultimatum. One has said, if you do not want to marry me by the end of this experience, I will walk away. And moreover, I need the experience of I want you to experience the being with someone else for 3 weeks. And and I will leave you or I will walk away. Either we'll get married or I'll walk away or one of us will leave with someone new. We did not see that last season. No one left with anyone new.
Oh, we
Um
did not.
no. I think maybe I'm being naive here. I don't think that'll happen a lot.
I
Um,
don't think it will a
what
lot either.
what I see more of is them going their separate ways.
I think
Um,
if it could happen, it would happen on this version of Queer Love
yeah.
because of the quick bonding that's happening.
So, uh, so that's how this show kind of works. It is going to be like the first season was extremely messy with the approach. I also think we just got a bunch of drama queens in that first season. I didn't really like any of them.
It felt
Now that I'm
very
thinking about
yeah,
it.
I didn't either. It felt very influencery.
Yeah.
What you're
Remember
gonna
Alexis who left the first night? That was the
yeah.
worst thing is that Alexis left the first night.
She couldn't take it. She couldn't play
No.
the game. And this is going to be y'all, this is something that, well, first of all, this is we're on the free feed right now. If you're listening on the free feed, this is a try before you buy because this will be on RG Plus at the $5 tier. So on Supercast or on Patreon, you can join for the rest of these episodes. I think the first 4 episodes are dropping this week. And
Yes,
then
first 4, then 3, then I believe 4 again.
yes. Also, just a little. I was trying to look today because some people have asked me. We don't know if there's going to be a Sunset reunion yet. It seems up in the air. I haven't seen anything confirming that. We should email
I
Netflix,
do not know that either.
but we should. I was doing a granted only a 7-minute Google, but I did do a Google today. So anyway, if you hear anything, let us know. But we will keep you posted. But also, I think what happened one thing that is consistent that happened some last or on the other spinoff of Ultimatum that's happening on this one is often it's a very strong personality that is they're giving they're giving the ultimatum, and then the other person doesn't want this ultimatum all. They're just so devoted. And then you see that person that didn't want to do this process at all becomes interested in the
Flourish.
process, and the other person completely freaks out about it.
Yep.
And that's kind of one of the beautiful things about this show.
That was who was that last time?
Oh
Uh
God, don't make me remember their
it was the
names.
woman, the black woman.
Yeah,
And she delivered, and then the guy started sniffing around. She lost her shit.
she lost her shit. She did.
um.
Anyway,
So anyway, it's hosted by Joanna Garcia Swisher, Joe Swish,
Joe Swish.
JGS.
I didn't know her. I think
I
she was.
I googled. She was on like Sweet Home Oklahoma or Alabama or whatever
Alabama.
the fuck. Sweet
Mhm.
Home. Fuck it. I
I
don't even
googled too. It
know.
said she was on Freaks and Geeks, and I don't remember
Yeah.
her in that.
But I think it's an interesting move to have someone. They even ask her when she walks in. She's like, "Is it true you're not queer?" And she's like, "I'm not." And they're like, "Ooh, but you're hot. Oh, I want to do you." And I was like, I thought security was going to have to come up
They,
to pull these people off of her.
but I guess how gorgeous the light's just hitting you right now. I feel like I know what you're. Show me your vulva.
I know. I said, "Get off of her,
Get off.
ladies. But behave yourselves."
I definitely think, and I know they've gotten a lot of hate. That aside, even if they had done a great job of hosting the reunion of Love Is Blind, I definitely think I think having a cis straight married couple as host would have been a bad idea for
I
this.
totally agree. Even someone who doesn't identify as queer is better than two straight people. There's something about it that doesn't feel right.
I
Yeah.
do think that could have. I do think it would have been interesting to have a host who's a little more queer minded when we get
Yeah,
to the
like
dinner
Margaret Cho.
Well, she would have been too funny. But yeah, Margaret
Right. Yeah.
Cho or who's the one? She hosted that Amazon show. I don't know if she's queer, but all the
Oh, Betty Who.
Betty Who I think would have been a great host
I
for
love
this.
her.
I love Betty Who too. So
She's so tall.
she's very tall. I think someone in that realm would have been.
I think they would have jumped on her and devoured her whole.
I mean,
think.
yeah, they would. They would have. They could have. Oh, they could have gotten. This would have been a different show if they would have gotten Tig Notaro. Just
Very different show. She's just verbally abusing everyone.
you know what? But Hannah Gatsby, she would have been great. She's a
Yeah.
comedian, but she talks about serious things. Like I could see that.
I think Joanna Garcia Swisher is bringing the right type of
She is though.
hometown bland energy. She's
She
quite pretty,
she's
but
just a host, agree.
she's not going to distract from all of the lesbian drama. One quick note, you guys, before we jump in on this, because these are people who some of these are people are identifying as non-binary. We're going to try to get that right. However, I find that a lot of these people are switching off with she or they. I had to look it up on the Netflix site to see
But
what
they
their
switch
what their
off
problem.
in the middle of the show. I think I
Right,
try to remember. I think the only one I'm really going to try to focus on is Aussie's pronoun is Aussie. I saw
Aussie.
so, which kind of makes
Yeah,
it easier. So,
yeah.
I'll try to. So anyway, we are. Feel free to correct us, y'all. We are doing our best.
Where and I think even on the Netflix site that was the only place they could find it. There was no inclusion on the show at all. Um,
For
and
pronouns, like in the
yeah,
chirons or anything like that.
yeah.
Okay.
So can we start off with Vanessa, who is 30, and Xander, who is 30. They've been together for 4 years. They met as seniors in high school because their boyfriends were best friends. Now things are different.
Now things are different.
uh
Vanessa
Vanessa?
helped Xander come out, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like. I don't know if that's yeah. I said Vanessa looks like a cross between Adina Menzel and Demi Lovato.
Yeah,
Like
I can see
it's
that. She's beautiful.
crazy.
She is beautiful. She is beautiful.
And Vanessa says, "Well, I went to a taco truck," and I was like, "Is that a lesbian inside joke?" A taco truck break.
Wow.
Um, and Vanessa says, "Well, I asked her. I saw her, and I said, "Are you still dating your boyfriend?" And my follow-up question was, "Are you gay?" And Xander basically says, "I had not come out to anyone but my best friend, and their high school boyfriend blocked them." After all that, I gotta say, I think that's okay.
I think
Move
that's
on with your
okay.
live high school
Move on.
boyfriend.
Move on, high school boyfriend.
Xander says, "We have a connection that I don't think I'll ever find again, and I want to be married." So Xander was the one who gave the ultimatum. And this Vanessa says things like, "I love you so much, but I never imagined a long term relationship with you. I don't want stability. I want freedom. Xander, I want children. I think you should go your separate ways." I think this is a disaster.
DOA. I will say that as someone who this last like year been analyzing and looking at, and thankfully it wasn't this rough, but Xander needs to go to a codependent anonymous meeting real bad.
Right.
Like they are so latched on to this idea of, and that's what's interesting about this show. It's this they've picked people that I think the longest relationship we have are people that have been together, what, 4 years, maybe
Yeah.
5, which kind of
Which
hits. I
is a good
think
long time. 4 years is a long time
it's a
to
good
be
long
together without
time,
marriage.
but as far as it kind of is in that you're still there's this idea of someone like Xander, and I think some other people we talk about later. I would watch this and thought, are you looking at this relationship for what it really is or for what you want it to be?
Oh, totally.
I saw
Well,
that a lot with
and
them.
Vanessa's not going to help because she's going to be whatever you want whenever you need it because
That is
she's a
true.
fucking narcissist.
We do find out later too that she's
Ooh.
like her profession is an influencer.
Of course it is. Y'all, this is someone who's in here to fuck shit up and not in a good way.
Not in a good
This is
way.
an agent of chaos. I think Vanessa's only with Xander because it's convenient for her to be, and she hasn't found anyone else who she wants to go for yet.
Yeah.
I know her because I was her. And it's why
Thank
she
you.
scares me. It's why she scares me. Two of the other contestants or couples already get the skis from her.
Oh,
Uh,
it's good. It's good.
so
We're episode
let's talk
2,
about
y'all.
Mal, who's 36, either she, he, they, and Yoli, who's 34, she, he. and they've been together 3 years. They
Mal
met
can
during Pride,
during
so it could
Pride.
happen.
Mal can get it.
Oh my god.
Mal, I'm telling you, I what's interesting
They
to me,
they could bang. They would proposition me and I'd hit it.
I'm kind of like I really was watching this. I thought, can I be with someone who just maybe I can't because Mal and also even though they have a lot more emotional problems, but God, Tiff would fuck me sideways to Saturday, and I would just be laying there.
I love Tiff.
Oh, Tiff is so hot.
Tiff is your textbook messy mass butch lesbian.
Oh, and they fuck so good.
Oh, y'all, if you've been to a club, there's some Tiffs around.
Oh, my ass is just giggling thinking about those fingers. Woo!
Wow.
This made me excited. I'm going to an Indigo Girls concert in a month. I'm like, woo! I am. I'm very excited.
Wear your hair down, put some bows in it. You can become your own pillow princess.
I could. All right, so Mal and Yoli.
So the idea here is that Yoli says, I knew I loved Mal when I was sick and she took care of me. And Mal says, I want stability enough for the ring, for the kids, the enough to pay for the in vitro. And Yoli is the one who gave the ultimatum. And she's like, why can't we I just want to be with you. That's the only thing I want. And this idea of it doesn't matter what gender people are. A lot of people, mostly the Mal would identify with with the male people in heterosexual couples of saying, I can't provide for us. I can't. I don't have enough money.
We'll use their words. They use mask and femme a lot in these relationships. So Mal definitely said they identify. That's like, it's interesting because that's like a super triggering word in the gay community. We don't like, if someone ever says I'm mask, I'm like, don't talk to me. Like, that's just not something I'm interested in. But in these relationships, it's actually, I just want to bring that up. That
it's identifiers too. It's
it's not
presenting how people present his mask. Both Mal and Tiff present pretty masked.
I think Xander too and Aussie, they were all talking about it.
Yes.
So what is interesting though? Yes, Yoli put in the ultimatum, but we find, like, you think, okay, the old Mal doesn't want to get married and doesn't want to settle down. Not true. Mal basically says Yoli falls in love with everyone. And how do I know that I'm special and that they actually want to be with me and just not anyone?
So it tells you it's not just the couple dynamic here, y'all. It's the individual and how they feel about themselves. It's why probably what should happen, instead of going on a dating show, they probably should have went to couples therapy.
Yeah. Well, this was cheaper and they got paid.
And they got paid. And they got
free drinks.
And they got to go to Texas. This is being filmed in Texas. I don't know where these people are from, but it is being filmed in Texas. So, Joe Swish basically says each of you are compatible with multiple people here. I don't know how they do this. I don't know how they decide.
We had a problem with this before. We wish there was.
Do they show them pics and go swipe left, swipe right?
Yeah. How do we?
I think I would be okay if they said we gave people personality tests. With the same problem with Are You the One? Where like the experts have decided who these people should be with.
Well, not as. I mean, they actually do testing and things like that. But for this,
what is it?
Wonder. Yeah.
What kind of testing is it?
I know. We want to know. Inquiring minds.
I need to know.
So, but they do. This is very much like on Love Is Blind, where they say, "Will you choose love or will you walk away forever?" And Joanna,
I scream, "No, that's not going to happen."
And Joanna is very much like she's or Joe Swish. I enjoy that. She's basically, you've got to figure out. Basically, is the person you're going to date, are you going to marry them instead of the other? That's the way she kind of poses it. It's like, you have to walk away from this experiment and marry someone.
And you may marry the person next, maybe this waiter.
It might be that grip, but you're going to marry someone at the end of these 3 weeks.
So we also meet Lexi, and who's 24, and Ray, who's 27. These are the youngest people. However, Lexi has her shit together more than anyone, and I love her.
I love
And
Lexi.
her
Oh,
enormous jugs.
Lexi reminds me so much of one of my best friends who's just like who always gives me supportive Jewish mother energy.
Yeah.
If you just have my friend Jess, that's who she
Yeah.
reminds me of. And if you have a friend like that, it's who always has their shit together. It's just one of the best things in the world. I love her.
So they've been dating for 3 years, which means they met. They must have met at school because they had their diplomas from like USC, and so Lexi met her when she was 21 years old. And normally I would
Oh,
say you're too young. You need to move on. But who knows? Maybe this will work out. I kind of want Lex. I want the best for Lexi. I want her to have the best of these people. I don't know
do
if Ray
too.
is the best of them. I don't know. Uh,
I I think Ray. I like Ray. I don't think there's anything wrong with Ray. I think Ray. Um, I think Ray dims Lexi's light.
agree. Agree.
I think,
Did,
yeah.
did I mention that Lexi is stacked? Right.
Yeah, you did. And they mention it, y'all, because it literally is like it would be like on the gay show. If there was one guy who said he had a 10-inch dick. Everybody would be
Yeah.
like, hey,
Like every time they date this one, it's like ding 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 ding. Like people
They're-
just
they're-
like blinking.
it is
Ooga.
it is great watching them date her because y'all Lexi doesn't play. She wears a fucking bikini top to the first date, and they're all just like,
And
don't look
these-
at your tits, don't look at your tits, don't look at your
And
tits.
these boobs are literally pushing the bikini top away. They're like, I want to get out in the sunlight.
Woo!
Show me off.
Show me love, show me light. Right. It's good.
It's so they're talking. It's their last night. Final night as a couple, basically. And I kept writing, what is on the table that they are having? Are these cinnamon rolls? Are they pastries? This is not a sexual food.
It looked it looked just like table dressing and not actual.
I don't think those were eaten. And Lexi says, when I first met Ray, she was trying to get a booty call from me. And turns out she's a boobs girl. Well, it sounds like she's in a good place. Sounds like she has she's all you can eat buffet.
And Ray says, I worry that you picture love, that when someone loves someone, they're running around screaming it and yelling it to the rooftops. And Ray says, that's not me. And Lexi says, she basically said, oh wait, am I mixing them up? No, I think Ray said that. And Lexi says, she's like, I worry though that you look at love another way, like this perfect thing, and I'm not going to do that either. So,
yeah, she's like, I don't know if I'll live up to your expectations.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Mildred. The youngest Mildred.
Before we do that, can we take a commercial? Because it's a free feed show.
Good idea.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
I found Mildred searching an Instagram hashtag, lesbian Latina. I think this is pretty desperate.
Okay. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you just
search for.
Yes.
Well, what kind of. Boy, what hashtags would you search for?
Hashtag Emily Dickinson Dick Lover.
I don't even know how. I'm going to have to ask Caitlin. I don't even know how you search.
We have hashtags.
We do?
Yes, you can find our podcast through looking for hashtags.
Really?
Yes.
God, when I start dating again, it's going to be like a caveman or cave woman trying to just like start fire.
Yeah, you're going to get taken advantage of a lot. I can
Well, no, it's the technology of it. I don't get it.
Ooh. Ooh, it's gonna be rough. So Mildred and Tiffany, they are 33 and 32. After finding her on a hashtag, Tiff said, "I'm gonna DM the fuck out of you," and they've been together ever since.
Here's the deal. I'm gonna sum this relationship up. Y'all, they fuck good, and that's about it.
This is to me, this wins for messiest relationship. I don't know. The Vanessa Xander one is just so ridiculously one-sided. I think this though is the lesbian couple that you see at a bar screaming at one another.
Yeah, they've only been dating 2 years, so really not that long. But everything about like Tiff talks about, they talk about how they love that Mildred is spicy, and
I
and
I
Mildred's like, well, if you like the spice, then you got to put a ring on it.
I used to take offense to when people refer to Latinas that way, but you know what? I think I'm not a Latina, so I
using
shouldn't
their
take
words,
any
but
offense. No, I'm just
yeah.
I was saying I kind of recoil when I hear that, but I need to get over it, and I'm not a Latina, so it's not my problem.
I think they can. I've been with some black men who refer to themselves as chocolate and some that don't. I never do that because that's just not something I think of nor that I'm comfortable with. But if they're, if we're in certain situations and they ask me when my face is buried in a pillow if I like this chocolate, I will muffle out a yes.
I didn't expect to get that perspective, but we need to move on.
Just call me Willy Wonka.
So, wow. Mildred basically says, if the person is on the same page, I have to let them go. This is very much an all or nothing approach. And this is either, it seems like Mildred is saying, you need to come all the way onto my page of getting married or we're done. And there's no compromise here. There's no talking. I have made clear what I need to say. And I'm not sure if it's that unnuanced, but that's kind of the way she's making it sound.
I will say Mildred needs to be grateful that Vanessa's on this show. Otherwise, I think Mildred would be getting a lot, and we'll see as we're watching, a lot heavier at it because Tiff doesn't really know what they want in a lot of ways, but Mildred,
I love her.
Mildred,
I love that.
Mildred just wants to be adored.
Yeah.
And this idea where Tiff even says right after that, they say, the majority of times you break up with me, you throw me away, and then 2 days later or 2 hours later, you want me back again.
And so that just tells you a little of their history and how this works.
Not good.
And Mildred said, this is not another breakup. I won't come back after this. And
it's kind of like Mal, though, where Tiff says, the reason I don't want to marry you, though, is because our communication is terrible. And then we just have sex and we never talk about things anymore.
Right.
So it's interesting how Tiff and Mal both have very rational, reasonable reasons why they don't want to get married. And the other their partner is just like, well, if you love me, marry me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I think we saw that on season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly with men in that. So we also find out that Mildred has already been married and has children. And
did you say Milfred?
Did I say Milfred?
It sounded like you said Milfred.
Pronounced Milfred. Milfred. When Milfred. I like Milfred. Tiff says, if I could choose right now, I still would not marry her. So who knows? Our final couple, I believe, I think we've done all of our couples now, is Aussie and Sam. Aussie is 42. Sam is 31. They met during the panty on a kind of like an LGBTQ page, like a socialization page. And this, when we touched hands, it was like the movies. The age difference is something we haven't seen yet. And Sam is like, I'm ready for her to put a ring on, for them to put a ring on it. And they've
For
been dating
Aussie to put a ring
Aussie
on
to
it.
put a ring on it. And they've been dating
Sorry.
1.5 years. Aussie's like, I want to live with you for 5 years. I think that's what I'd like to do. And
1.5 years is not a long
no, and
time.
I do want to point out that Aussie is proposing a plan here. We live together for 5 years and then see where we are. And it seems like that is not sufficient for Sam. And to me, that should be where people come to the table and say, what about 3 years? What about 4 years? I don't think this is a situation where you can completely subjugate someone else's plan to yours. Yeah,
Yes.
I think Austin may need to walk away here. It feels like. I don't know. But Aussie says, I'm participating in this experience, and you do you, and so we'll see. Can we talk a little bit? Now we're going to kind of do the rest of this in chronological order.
Yeah. Show is good. I like it.
Vanessa and
This is when they're at the pool
Xander.
now, right?
Yes.
Pool party.
Yes.
Lexi's got her titties out, and everybody's like Poodle said. It's just going, ooga. A lot of tit talk.
Boy, these are some memories. Thanks for the memories. And so everyone's dating. I liked it when Mal and Tiff are talking. They're like, "You're the most masked person I've ever dated." They're like, "Yeah, we have a lot in common, though. Let's talk."
Yes, and so they had this conversation. There's kind of a lot of back and forth, but there's Mal, and even when they get to Mal and Tiff they're like, "You're masked," but then Tiff and Xander are just sitting there in silence, like, and Tiff kind of says, "Hey, bro, I love your hair," and they literally have the exact same haircut.
It is interesting how dynamics break down, where it's like femme or mask, and there's neither the twain shall meet. It looks like a little bit here, like some of those.
I was trying to think, like, of all of my friends. I don't know with yours. Like, I'm not saying it can't happen because it does happen, but I don't. I think I only have and I have a lot of lesbian queer friends, and I think I only know one couple in Oklahoma where they're both kind of more mask, and there is like a more mask feminine dynamic in most of those relationships that I know.
Just to clarify, what you're saying is a lot of the lesbian couples are one mask, one femme.
Yes,
Okay.
but I'm not. Again, y'all don't come at me. I'm not saying that's always the way it
But
is.
you're
I really just
saying, yeah.
think about watching them date, and I went, "Oh, I've never." Yeah, that's just something I don't see a lot.
So we're speaking from our experience.
Yeah,
I think I would say something similar to that. I know nowadays, especially younger women, I see much more sexual fluidity from. But people
yeah,
who are in their, I would
that's
say
a good point because people are older on this show.
yeah, people who are a little bit older are in their 30s are a little bit different, because I think
Yeah.
Ray and Lexi would present more femme, both of them.
Yeah.
And so I think younger, but these are, I think it's more of a generational thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
that's
I
a
would
good
say.
point.
But we're not making any blanket statements.
No, I was just
Yeah.
pontificating about my life and my friends. Why isn't my computer plugged in? Oh, I forget. I didn't
Who
plug it in.
cares?
Well, let me keep talking.
So Vanessa, y'all, starts dating, as Mother Poodle would say, Vanessa comes off like a truckload of turkeys. And
I don't know what that means.
like, just like a lot of noise.
Okay.
And you can tell Vanessa loves every minute of everyone telling her she's beautiful,
Oh, yeah.
of being the center of attention. This is why she wanted to be on the show. This is it. And to get her follows up.
Yeah.
And there's this moment where Vanessa's talking to Ray, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm just kind of scared to commit." And how do you get to the point of like knowing you're going to be with one person? And Ray talks about her very specific childbirthing plan to have the embryos transplanted to each other, and it's like, oh my god, that's amazing.
It was very specific.
It was. And we also learned that Xander is Vanessa's first serious girlfriend, which is
Yes.
not a shock.
Not a
Because
shock.
Vanessa basically says, I'm pansexual. It doesn't matter. I'm attracted to the person. And pansexuality exists. It's very convenient for someone like who's a narcissist like Vanessa to be pansexual because it's all about who adores her.
She
Woo!
definitely wants to be single, y'all. For sure. She doesn't want
What
to
a
be.
nightmare! And in a competition, not a competition, but in a show like this person is dangerous, and I think both Yoli and Lexi learned that pretty
Yes.
quickly.
Speaking of Lexi and Xander, they go on a date, and Xander, of course, is Xander. I feel like Xander is. I'm parsing my words because I'm trying to be nice about it because I like Xander. But they're just like a lost puppy who's gonna fall in love with any bone that's put in front of them, I feel like.
Clueless and super. Later on, we see their date with Yoli. Super comfortable with talking, letting physicality do the talking, and not really talking about emotions.
Yeah.
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 I want to talk about Lexi and Vanessa who have a date, and they're like, "Well, what makes you a catch?" And then there's this really cringy thing like, "Your eyes look like melted chocolate." You know, weird. Your favorite color is green. No, it's blue, but close. Tell me. At one point, I just wrote, "Tell me more great things about me."
Well, you nailed it, and that you said Vanessa has. I don't even know if it's conscious. She has just this amazing way of melting into whatever the person in front of her needs.
Yes. No, that's how a narcissist survives. That's
Yeah.
how that they adapt.
Yeah.
That's why they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, they low key move into where you're thinking I always like being with that person. That person's like the kind of a light, and they're always seeing something in me that I don't see in me.
Vanessa even said, "I'm amazed how well I'm connecting with everyone."
Wow. And so later on, y'all, basically everyone's been dating everybody else, and Vanessa, they're all kind of as a group. Vanessa's like, who wants to talk about who their number ones are? And all the other people go like, no, I don't want to do that. That's weird.
No. Yeah, we're not doing that at all.
She's saying this is a game. She's playing this as a game, and it's so evident.
Yeah.
So, and then she's like, what about a polyamorous orgy? Should we just get in the orgy? And I think Yoli just goes, that's not me, and I don't know who you are. And
You know what? This is Vanessa is, if for some of you that need she's a Francesca.
Yeah, but less clever.
Yeah.
And I think also with less chill. Francesca is also a cool girl, and she knows how to play it. Vanessa is not.
She's not. Can we talk about a couple that I'm already invested in, and that is Lexi and Mal.
Yes, I just want to say one thing before that. Vanessa gets both Ray and Lexi by themselves in the same night.
Oh, yeah.
She is literally inserting herself in the middle of a fraught relationship. This is shit.
Remind people.
They're together.
Lexi and Ray are together, y'all.
Yeah. she's and it's so weird. I wrote this down and Lexi says it later on. She's dropping bombs in the middle of this relationship that can't be undone.
And this is where I wrote, game recognizes game. Because
I
this
was
is the
never
shit.
this bad.
You were never this bad, but normal people, and I use the word normal, or typical people wouldn't think it's a good idea to date a boyfriend, a man, and then date his boyfriend at the same time. Like,
I would have had a lot of fun with that in my mid-20s.
You did.
Yeah. So this idea, and I wrote down, you are an agent of chaos, Vanessa, and you must be destroyed. What were you saying that last little bit? Sorry.
I was just going to say
Mal
that.
and Lexi?
This might have been before because you were talking about that night,
Yeah.
but I wanted to talk about it because I think it really comes up in season or episode 2 a lot. But they bond about they bond about this idea that, Mal was issued the ultimatum, but you just see them kind of soften with Lexi because Mal is someone who wants he wants someone who's dependable. He wants someone that's a family person, and they're not getting that in their current relationship. I'm sorry, thank you. They're not getting that in current relationship. And then you see Lexi, and she just it's almost like, I know it's the editing, but it's like she just fits into the box they've been looking for.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I love them together. I'm already invested.
So Lexi and Mal?
A little bit.
Okay. No, I can see it. I don't know any I think all the couples that are the new couples are going to be experimental to me. I don't know if they're going to be, I don't know.
Well, another thing Lexi says too, though, on that date, she said that gave me that I thought, I don't think you and Ray are going to work out. She says Ray still has all the exact same problems that she had with her last girlfriend, and none of those have been fixed.
Yes.
That's a red flag.
And I think that's something that we can all think about if there people are telling you about their previous relationships and you're going,
you act the same.
You still have that. You don't obviously say it, or maybe you do, but that may be something like, oh, I guess things haven't changed. So, and you might end up just like the ex. Yeah. So anyway, that's the show. That's the first episode, y'all. It was 56 minutes or something like that. It was a long episode.
It was a long I think that's all. I did enjoy when Xander and Yoli did go out, and Xander, who was totally against this experiment on the first episode, was like, "Oh my God, that was one of the best dates I've ever had."
Just
I went, "Oh,
they're so clueless. I love them. There's something about y'all. We all know that person.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the boyish girl who all the girls kind of love.
I bet they have so much pull with women or girls that aren't identified as queer yet or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got this.
Where's hats? I can see it now.
They've got this Justin Bieber pre-tattoo quality.
Yes.
That's all I got.
That's it. I'm liking this show so far. Who's your favorite?
Me too.
Who's your favorite person?
Lexi and Mal.
Yeah, I like Lexi. I like Lexi a lot.
No, Lexi and Mal. They are together already in my mind. You cannot
you're incorrect.
them.
I think you're a terrible judge of who should be together.
I want to believe in love.
No, well, it's dead.
It is.
I like Tiff a lot. Because I think they're going to bring drama.
I like Tiff,
and I like Xander. Everybody else, I'm kind of okay with Yoli. I like Aussie. Other than that, I'm just like, yeah, you're all background for me.
We like a lot of the people on the show that identify as masks because they do seem like, we'll see how it breaks down, but they seem like at first they have their shit together a little bit more.
A little bit more.
And the whereas their partners are just messes.
Yeah. No, that does seem to be the way things are going. Anyway,
y'all, if you enjoyed this and you wanted to listen to more messy
queer love
drama,
I'm looking for some queer love. That's our theme song. Queer love. Gung, 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 gung. I'm looking for some queer love.
You gonna write that?
No, I'm just gonna sing that, and that's the theme song. So just record me doing that, and that's the theme song.
That's not what we're doing, Christina. Don't you edit it that way. That's not how we do things. All right, everybody. That is an episode. If you want to listen to the rest of this, again, we've dropped 4 episodes already along with the Netflix first part of this. You can listen to that on Reality Gaze Plus. Go to realitygaze.com to join, or you can listen to this, or you can click on the show notes, and wherever app you're listening to, you can subscribe there. This is going to be at the $5, the Lonely Heart tier.
Yeah.
That's where you can get this show.
And the next episode is when Lexi reads Vanessa for filth, and I still have scorch marks on my face from watching it, and I loved every moment of it.
It's y'all. It's worth the fucking $5 just for us to talk about that, because it was one of the best shakedowns I've ever seen on reality TV. It was amazing. Oh, it was so good. And to watch Xander just sit there and hold hands and stare into, oh God, y'all. This first episode was good, but episode 2 is nuts.
Yeah, that's when I started. I'm like, yeah, this show's working for me.
Yeah, it's working.
So much better than season 1. So much better than the Ultimatum first season.
But y'all, you can get all of our Love is Blind if you do subscribe to $5 tier, you will get all of our Love is Blind episodes, including the newest season of Love is Blind. So if you've been wanting, and this is a time for you to catch up on all of that.
You're also going to get Selling Sunset, which just dropped.
We just raw dogged.
The month of May was good for you $5 tier members. You got 2 binges in 1 month, which doesn't usually happen, but that's just the way things dropped.
Guess we haven't had a weekend off in a while. Well,
yeah, that's true.
All right, everybody, that's the show. We'll see you we're going to jump into episode 2. Until then,
sign off with the show.
Maybe we should talk about it before the actual episode.
Oh, I know what it was. Where you decide marry or move on. Move on.
Oh, that's it. To marry or move on.
Move on. Move on.